Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Trevor Ohlsen Show, episode 109 on Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. I'm your host. It's good to be here. What's going on? If you'd like to support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/Trevor Ohlsen, where I do a bonus Saturday podcast every single Saturday. It's the best way to sign up and support the show, the podcast, and you can get all sorts of cool stuff over there, like handwritten letters and pictures and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So a couple little updates before we discuss what we're all here to discuss. Episode 8, talking Allt för Sverige, episode 8. The final little episode in this little mini-series. It's been fun to do for the last 8 weeks, for the last couple months. It's been something to look forward to, something that I've looked forward to every Wednesday. It's been fun to recap the experience that I had over in Sweden, along with the rest of everyone else's experiences as well. And so let's, before we get into that though, a couple of updates I want to talk about. So I'm, as you know, I'm a new resident here in Los Angeles, California. And just to keep you guys up to speed about what's going on here, somebody stole my shit yesterday at the gym. Somebody broke my lock. Some psychopath walked in with a bolt cutter. I don't think it was a bolt cutter, but he broke my lock. Took rifle, okay, so here's what I had: a gym bag, all my stuff in it, boxing gloves, gym shoes, 3 different pairs of headphones, including an AirPod case, car keys, COVID-19 face mask, everything, basically everything I needed. And I finished up a workout. I walked back in, and I walked right to the locker where I left my shit, and I was like, is this where I left it? Because I don't see my lock, and the locker's empty. So now I'm second guessing where I put my things. And so I start looking around, and people notice my my face, because I'm not thrilled. And then they start, basically a couple guys start telling me that somebody was in here and broke locks and stole things. I'm like, what? And so looked all around, couldn't find anything, went up to the front desk, and prior to going up to the front desk, talked to 2 other people who had their shit stolen. So 3 of us had our locks broke and our shit stolen. And so I went up to the front desk, and I was like, hey, I'm the 3rd person who's had their stuff stolen today. Somebody's, in the gym between this time stealing shit. And they were just like, oh, sorry. I was like, no, what? No, I need more than just sorry. And granted, these are nice people working the gym, and they're younger than me, I think. And so they were just really sort of kind of like, well, sorry about that. I was like, no, not fucking sorry about that. Do something. Talk to a manager. Talk to somebody who can do something. I'm going to file a police report because I'm the 3rd person. And it's almost like they didn't want me to do anything. That's kind of what it felt like. They're like, and I'm like, no, do something. It's not how a company's run. You don't just let somebody steal everybody's shit and just go, sorry about that. That happens. You're the 3rd one today. Like there has to be some accountability on the company's part as well. And so, long story short, I went back there into the locker room. There's like 200 lockers, and I just started, just on the off chance that my shit might be somewhere like in the locker room, because I had heard that somebody else's shit got stolen. Then he found some of it somewhere else, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just start looking then. Rifled through like 130 lockers, almost stopped because I was on one side of the locker room. I went through every single locker up until the very end, and I was like, oh, there's just no way it's over here. It's on the opposite side of the locker room. And I decided to look through one more locker, and I found my shit. And everything was open, every pocket was open, nothing was stolen. And so I really lucked out. This person was just looking for cash, because there was a gentleman who had all of his money stolen, and but it happens. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, your 3rd one today. It's like, okay. So, but I lucked out. I found my shit, and that was just something interesting that happened yesterday. I wanted to inform you guys of, because so things are going well out here in LA. One home invasion, and only had my shit stolen once now in the month and a half that I've been here. So things are well. What else? Went on a nice hike. I know this is what you guys are here for. You're here to hear about me having my things stolen and going on hikes. But I found a nice hike, folks. As you know, if you know me, I'm a nature guy. And I've been meaning to get out into some nature around here. And if I'm being honest, I've felt just moments of feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of people. Like, even the gym I go to, it's great. There's a fucking 1,000 people in it. A 1,000. That's an exaggeration. No exaggeration, probably 500. Like, there's a shit ton of people in it all the time. And I was just like, I just can't be here. I feel like I haven't been alone in a month and a half. Because I have housemates too, so it's not like I'm really ever here at the house by myself. So I have this app on my phone called All Trails, and utilize that. Totally forgot about it, but found it, looked up some trails around the area, found a nice one 7 minutes from where I'm at, and man, it was lovely. It's not very frequented, so there wasn't that many people. Like, if you go to Runyon Canyon in LA, which is a really popular spot, you're gonna run into hundreds of people. There's gonna be hundreds of people there. I went there like a few weeks ago, and I left because I couldn't find a place to park. Like, that's my least favorite part about living here in Los Angeles. It's parking. Like, I had no idea how fucking annoying it would be. It's it's like you have to plan things. You have to take into account parking. Like, how long is it going to take me to park? You know, what are you going to pay and all that. But so I couldn't even go to Runyon. But I found this really nice path, this nice trail yesterday. And it's like an hour hike, and it's a pretty steep elevation of, I think, 700 feet, and it was so nice, man. I saw maybe less than 10 people, so it's, hardly anybody on the trail. The views were spectacular. It was a beautiful day, and man, I just felt revitalized after it, man. I felt so good, and then I went to the gym and had my shit stolen, but recovered. So. But anyway, folks, just wanted to give you guys a couple updates here before we jump into the show. But let's do it, because this is Talking Allt for Sverige, episode 8. And the final episode. I know so many of you were disappointed that I couldn't win. And nobody really likes Erica, let's be honest. Or John. Nobody really likes those two. So, so let's start here. What was it? Okay, yeah, so me, Nikki, John, and Erica started off. We had a really beautiful letter written to us in the beginning. It was actually quite moving. You could see we all got quite teared up in the very beginning. And it really hit home when we heard that, generations of people were gathering together to potentially have a family that we could potentially have a family reunion with. And I'll answer this question as well, because this is probably one of the most asked questions I get. A lot of people are asking, even though I didn't win, or even though John or Nikki didn't win, do we get to have our family reunion? The answer is, folks, no! We do not. We do not. We go back to America immediately. And Erica gets to have her family reunion. So a lot of people were like, oh, it's for the TV, but I'm sure they get it. Nope. No family reunion for us, folks. We went right back to America. The next day, like after everything that you guys saw that day that was filmed with the competitions, that was all filmed in one day, and we went back to America the next day. All of us except Erica, who stayed, I think, 2 or 3 more days. But, so no, we don't. Hopefully I can do a Zoom meeting with them, or I'm going to be going back to Sweden here eventually, whether it's to do a run of shows or just to hang out. So it's either going to be through Zoom, and then once I'm over there, I'll probably meet some in person as well. So, but this episode was all about competitions, and the first one, your boy smashed, took care of it. That was probably my favorite competition, was the counting of the spiders, rats, and skulls. and it was because I did really well in it, and I did it very quickly. But it was fun too. It was a fun challenge as far as, you had to remain calm, and you could see everybody else as well running up the stairs, and so you think you're gonna run out of time and you're gonna be last, but I was the first one to get out of there. I got it on my second try. That was real. It showed me go up there twice. I think with the other people it took a little longer than how it portrayed, than how it was portrayed on the show. I can't remember exactly because it took a while for everybody to get together at the end. But a fun competition too. I remember being nervous going into it because I hadn't done math in a long time, so I felt stupid as far as multiplying. I was like, oh my god, like I haven't done math since like senior year. I did pre-calculus, and then I said, that's enough. I'm done. That's done with now. I'm going to focus on music. I don't need math. Not me. Some people do. I've got an iPhone. I don't need to know the dimensions of a triangle. I don't think. Some people do, though. And so I hadn't done math in a while, but I just did the old visual, I was like, okay, 7. Well, I knew 7 times 9 was 63 right away. I'm not that dumb. But then 63, 7, 9, 7. 63 times 7. I was like, okay, 63, 7, 1, carry the 2, 7, 4, 4, 1. I did the math prior to running up there. I remember John, he was worried about, he told me that he, at one point, he ran up there and he was just trying to do math in front of the camera, and he said he just kept messing up over and over again. And he's like, oh my god, I'm going to look like an idiot. But they left that part up. But that was a fun one. We said goodbye to Nikki. We wish her well. Nikki came close. She was a good competitor. She fucking trained like an animal to get up to where to get as far as she did, but didn't make it. Only one of us was going to make it, and so she was the first to go in this episode. And yes, she wasn't thrilled, clearly. But none of us were thrilled to not win. Okay, and then we went to the nice, this was a very cute little place, really cozy, homey, comfy place. That nice little kind of summer stuga. And we all cooked, and it was fun. It was that meal that we all shared, where we all opened up, was one of my, I really enjoyed it. Because it was the first time that Erica really opened up on camera, which was nice. Nice to see that she has some feelings. And then it was just having the meal together was fun, Erica burning the meatballs. Shocker. You're telling me that I can't cook, Erica. I at least cooked, with Linda without burning our food. Erica burnt the meatballs. We choked them down. We were acting. But had a good meal. Everybody kind of opened up, and it was fun too, because we all kind of recapped about our experience there and what it was like when we rolled up, and sailing over from Denmark over to Sweden, and John experiencing his family day right away, and Eric, me, and then Eric at the end, and geez, I'm just by a fucking freeway, aren't I? I've waited. I've realized that it's garbage day on Wednesdays when I do the podcast. So I wait for the garbage truck to show up, and then I do it. And 3 of them come, like a recycling one, a something else one, and then a trash one. I don't know what the other one is. If it's like a compost thing, I don't know, because it's green. I can't tell you. And then we kind of recap, folks, about everybody being here. It's fun. They include everybody in this episode briefly. We get to see Brittany again and Melody, and we get to see Sally, and we just kind of recap everything. And it was fun. We get to see them at the church. We all talk about our family day a bit. That was when we had the conversation. That was probably the most emotional we all were. I was happy. They didn't really I cried a little, not nearly as much as John. I cried a bit. Um, like what, 3 times maybe. But it was only ever like a teary eye kind of, not like a full on, weeping. I'm not gonna weep. I don't plan on weeping. Um, but it was fun. It was just emotional. And one thing I remembered just watching the episode, like we had so much fun. We had so much fun. I was looking over old pictures yesterday, and it was so fun. We were there for 6 weeks. It's like we're on this television show. We're making friends with each other. We're making friends with the crew. We're going all over Sweden. It was so fun. We just really, really enjoyed it. But it was fun, Nikki recapping her experience as well. Um, it was fun. It's cool, man. I think they showed something from every episode, and then we get folks halfway in with the second competition, and that's where I stopped watching. That's where I stopped watching because I left. And I have no interest in the show if I'm not in it. No, I just, I got outstudied. What are you gonna do? I'll accept responsibility. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? No, I paid attention during school. Andrews was a sufficient teacher. But John and Erica just paid closer attention to, and I just missed them. It's not like I was completely behind. I was fairly behind, but not completely. I was keeping up. I missed that first one. I was like, oh shit. I still can't ever remember what that term is for whatever the outdoor thing. Don't remember. Doesn't stick to my brain. Don't remember it. And then the Greta, I needed both. So it's, yeah, either way, I wasn't getting in. I would have had to have got the first answer right. Because I was catching up a little bit with the Monica. Hey, Monica. Hey, Monica. I just think of Monica from Friends. But the second competition, a competition of trivia, of how well we paid attention, and admittedly, Erica and John outwitted me, paid more attention, and beat me fair and square. So I was bummed. I was definitely bummed that I didn't get to meet the family. That I didn't make it to the end. I like to win. I don't like to lose. But also, if I do lose, I'm not a sore loser. I'll accept the fact that I lost if it's a fair and square loss, which it was. Erica and John beat me. And, if I'm being honest, I let them win. I let him win. I felt bad for Erica. John, I don't even like John. But I let him win. Because, that's how good of a person I am. I let Erica win. I think of other people, folks, more than I think of myself. I think of not John, just Erica. I just felt bad. She's Erica, so I had to let her win. Felt she burned. She can't even cook meatballs. She has to feel some type of celebration at some point in her life. She can't even cook meatballs. Got to let her win the show. No, they beat me fair and square, folks, and is what it is. I was happy to have made it as far as I did. I wanted to make it to the last day of filming, mainly because, well, obviously to try and win, but the other factor was that, we were just having so much fun traveling all over Sweden. Got like Melody and Bubba and Michael, and Brittany and everybody up and excluding the four of us. We got to go to places that they didn't go, and that was just the reality. It's like if you got eliminated, not only were you not going to win the show, but you weren't going to be able to experience more of Sweden. And that was something that we were all very interested in. We were all very interested in the traveling aspect because we just went everywhere. We went north and south, east, west, the islands, and we just went all over. And we got to meet all these beautiful people and have all this great food. Not Erica's meatballs. It was fun. It was super fun. It was just a fun 6 weeks. We're getting some money, a little per diem, cover some expenses. Sweden has cool stores. I picked up some sunglasses. John helped me grab. Got some cool jackets. Just kicking it. Stockholm is adorable and fun. So yeah, we just were having a great time. I do remember saying, I was like, why am I leaving? I don't want to leave. I'll just come back. And there's a part of me that's considering at some point, well, I know I'm going to be over in Sweden recreationally or doing music, but man, I could totally live there for a bit. Absolutely. And I think I should. I'm living in LA for a bit. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I feel like I should live in Stockholm for a bit. I feel like I should live in Nashville a bit. For a bit. I want to kind of live in all these different places. And now's the time to do it before I get old and, have kids and have a mortgage and have to settle down. And that's what everybody tells me. They're like, do it now. Do it now before you have kids and the mortgage. Because your life's over after that. And it's always just some sad guy who just, your life's over after that. You got the mortgage and the wife, the kids. I'm like, okay, settle down, dude. Like, hey, get out of my face with your issues. I'm single. I'm going to do what I want. No, but I could see myself living in Stockholm someday. And I think I would choose Stockholm because it's where it's a lot of creative people. It's the biggest city. But there's not even a million. There's like 1 million people there, There's not that many people. It's not a huge city. It's clean and nice and safe, relatively. So it was, I could totally go live there for a bit. All right, let's move on. After my letting Erica win. And, letting John and Erica kind of move forward. I felt bad for him, like I said. John had to eat the meatballs. I felt bad for him. It was just, fun to see the final episode. Anders lied to me. He's like, you'll be able to stick around and watch. They didn't let me see shit. I went and sat behind a building because once you lose, they're like, okay, you can't be seen by anyone, basically. They're like, you can't be filmed. Obviously, they're not going to film you. You're not in the show anymore, except at the very, very end. So I went and sat by a building while the final, challenge was all set up. And I just sat there, I think for 3 hours. I sat there for 3 hours. And then Nikki showed up and she brought me a burger. Because Nikki, she didn't have to be there because she had already been eliminated. But then, she's still there for the final day of filming because she got eliminated like the day before. Or the day before, day of. I don't remember. But where the fuck was I going with all that? Oh yeah, Anders was like, oh, you stick around, you get to see the winner. Or get to see, the challenges. And I was like, oh great. And then the crew grabs me and they're like, you can't watch. You can't watch. Go sit by that building. You're in timeout. They're like, get over there. People go from loving you to immediately not caring. They're like, you're not in the show anymore. Get out. Go sit on that wooden stool, that cracked wooden stool. We'll get you some food in 3 hours. You got water? I remember it was like, I went from almost winning to begging for water. I was like, guys, I've been here for 2 hours in the sun. I'm dehydrated. And they're like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's what they said to me. I was like, oh, jeez. They started beating me. They hurled me into the water. Nearly drowned me, the Swedes. The Swedes nearly drowned me. Went from being loved and adored to close to murdered. I just need some water. They're fucking grabbing sand, opening my mouth, shoving it in. It was a real turn of events. So, but at the very end, got to find out who won. And I remember John came out, and I couldn't tell if he won or not. And then clearly he was upset, and then he told me, and I was like, "Ah, you didn't win." But I was also really happy for Erica to win. I was going to be happy with either or of them winning. Um, you know, we all got along great, so it was fun. Those two are the closest people that I got to on the show. I feel like that's a really poorly worded sentence. They were the closest friends. I made friends with them. I made friends with them on the show. And so I was happy that, for either or of them, I knew one of them was going to win, so that was cool. But John came out clearly upset. He was genuinely upset. He really came there to win, and, as we all did. I don't think all of us did, but as some of us did. And, he was visibly upset, and it took him like days to recover. But that's the type of person he is. So, he cares about shit, which is great. But then Erica came out, and I was very happy for her. And I think Erica, by the way, has the best story out of all of us because, Erica, for those of you who don't know, she signed up to be on the show, I think on the last day. It was either the last day that they were accepting video submissions, or it was like the day before that, but I'm almost certain it was the last day. And she just briefly was like, "Hey, I'm Erica, blah 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 blah," like a quick video, made it in one take and sent it off. And then on the show, she's, like I said, she just doesn't she's blunt and straightforward, and she was there for the right reasons. But I like her story probably the most. Because, she was just like, "Yeah, I'll sign up, and I'm definitely interested in this." And she did it, last minute. I know John spent a lot of time, making his video. I spent time editing my video, making it nice to submit and kind of grab their attention. But Erica was like, "Fuck it, yeah, whatever, sure. Hey, what's up? I'm Swedish. Look at my half-shaved head." And then she gets on the show and ends up winning, which is... And I think I wonder. Let me know in the comments. I wonder if it was a surprise, because she's a woman. No, not that. No, I just feel like watching the show. I feel like, and I'm just giving my own opinion. I feel as if they kind of portray it like John is going to win, kind of from the beginning. I think he's, as far as airtime, he probably got the most. If I had to guess, I have no idea. But, and then all of a sudden it gets down to, him and Erica, and boom, Erica steals the win. I think it was probably surprising for people. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But super happy for Erica that she won. Disappointed in you, John. Again, we let Erica win. No, the meatball thing. But, man, what an experience. We left in good spirits as well as we could after having lost. And I posted a video today on my Instagram story while I was dancing in the car listening to some Swedish hip-hop song, which I really liked while I was over there. I was always listening to that song. But, left in good spirits, and it was just such a fun time. And I remember getting back and it's every conversation we had there was so deep and meaningful, and we had no cell phones, so we were really able to focus and be in the moment, and it was just all so novel and exciting, and it was so fun. It was so fun. And I remember getting back, and we were all kind of depressed to go back to normal life, and we're like, Even though, people such as myself, and I know John as well, it's we do, we're doing things that we really love. I love doing music and working on that. But it was so fun. It was such an experience that we didn't want it to be over. Speaking of things being over, folks, this is the end of talking Allt för Sverige. It's going to go back to the regular episodes every Wednesday. Hope you'll stick around for those, as those are just fun little updates throughout the week as well. So I appreciate everybody who's tuned in to listen to these episodes specifically regarding Allt för Sverige. Thanks for all the lovely messages, all the love, all the support, everybody listening to the music, everything that we got going on. So again, if you'd like to support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/Trevor Ohlsen, where you can sign up and receive a bonus Saturday podcast every single Saturday, free every Wednesdays. every Wednesday on YouTube and everywhere else, and then exclusive on Patreon every Saturday. So just like that, folks, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, stick around. We'll be back next week on Wednesday and Saturday. The show is not ending. It's been going on long before Allt for Sverige. It's going to continue to go on long after. So thanks for everybody who's tuned in. Keep tuning in this Saturday at Patreon, and if not there, on Wednesday, every Wednesday for free. So keep doing your thing. Keep moving forward. Again, thanks so much, and we'll see you then.